back, ladies and gentlemen, at KMC Podcast Friday. It's a wonderful time to be alive. We have on the line today to engage with Miss Mkhwanazi Noxolo in particular, who's just going to take us through the idea of women in business, in particular, her business. So we've got on the line Miss Noxolo Mkhwanazi. How are you?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
No, I'm very well. Thank you for taking your time to join us today. So I just want to find out, because a lot of people have been just around celebrating Women International Week and Day in particular, and therefore we recognize your work. And so I just want to find out what really inspired you to do the business you're doing.
Thank you so much, my brother, for the opportunity. Well, in starting my business, it all started from the love of baking. I'm in love with baking, if I may put it like that. I really love baking. I really love spending my time in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So the business stems from that.
No, that's wonderful. But now, so the love of baking, who brought the idea to say you can actually commercialize it and make it an official type of business where you can exchange product with income?
Well, I would say it's family, friends, because I usually bake. Almost everyone who comes in will come in for, I'll make some tea and my cookies. And during birthdays, if one of my family members having a birthday, I will make a birthday cake. So whoever comes in and tastes, they'll be like, wow, you can actually make a lot of money from this. Until I think last year June, on my husband's birthday, I invited one of his friends who actually said, "Why are you wasting time? People can buy this." Yeah. So I think it was that last thought that made me say, "Let me go out there and start selling." He actually made me take my work seriously. I always thought, it's just baking for my family, but after those compliments, they really pushed me to thinking of commercializing it.
No, that's actually amazing, and I think we get our awakening in different times and in different spaces and all that. But now, so what are some of the challenges that you encountered through running your business?
Well, I would say baking business now, it's quite like so many people are baking, and to kind of have your own signature or your own I would say that specific ingredient or recipe that you use that will stand out. Yeah. It's quite a challenge because there's already many people who are baking, and people are always comparing with store-bought cakes and all that, and prices as well. They'll be saying, "Oh, but I can buy this cake at Woolies at a cheaper price," but forgetting that when you're doing homemade, any bakery things that you do at home, it's unlike when they're doing it for a bigger industry like Woolworths. So they will expect less prices, or I would say reasonable prices for them. And they will say, but I can buy one cheaper at Woolies. And they'll be like, no, but here, it's with love. I mean, I took all my time just making that one specific cake. Yeah. So you'll find those challenges with pricing. And then with people comparing your baking with like store-bought cakes and all that. So it's quite a challenge, and the competition that I just mentioned as well from other bakers as well. I wouldn't call it competition, but it's just to always be on your game and make sure you deliver the best, because I mean people are paying for your product.
No, exactly, and that's quite profound what you just mentioned, and in particular the challenge of big industries that are already there established. You mentioned like your Checkers, Woolworths, Pick and Pay, we can call them, and therefore it's with such big corporates like that. I just want to find out, because we have suffered a lot of times where you find that women stand up to do small business and they remain small until they get to a certain stage where they can't do the business anymore. So what are some of the plans or other the thoughts that you've got to actually make it something big, take it from out of the kitchen and make it something of an establishment, something that is going to transcend time, something that your children are going to inherit? What are some of the plans around that?
My plans are actually more to market it and also to advocate for small businesses, like for our people from our community to actually support us
Yeah.
Not to say they mustn't support like big brands like Woolworths or Checkers, but it's important. They say charity begins at home. One day they can have Mafalo's bakery and be proud because they will know that they built me from scratch, or they were buying for me from when I was in the kitchen, and they will attest to say she started in the kitchen. It's nice to actually see someone growing the business in front of your eyes. So I think also in our communities, if they can have that change in mentality to say, let's support the small businesses so they can become big as well. So I'm looking at doing advocacies around promoting small businesses. I'm looking at marketing my business even more. I'm also looking at actually doing supplying for these big brands at some point, because I think if I can put my name out there, like even for Pick and Pay or Woolworths or Spar, and they will know they've got specific scones from my kitchen. So I think that also as well will put my name out there. So
no, that's actually wonderful, and I think for audience listening to us today, they would probably want to find out where can they actually find you.
All right. I'm actually based in Nelspruit.
Yeah.
In Nelspruit town, yes. So in Mpumalanga, Nelspruit.
All right.
So, yes.
No, that's actually amazing. And I think we have distributed your cell phone number. You're based in Nelspruit, and I think they'll find you there. But now, one of the elements that is quite profound, and which is God remaining the center of everything, is God part of your business, or is it just just a business that because you can actually bake?
Yes. Well, my brother, I wouldn't be where I am in terms of business and all, because sometimes we live as people not knowing how much talent is invested in us by God. So when you actually discover that, I've always known I'm doing this like baking, but I never thought I can actually make something out of it. So it always takes me, I don't know if we can refer to the scripture whereby that king who left his servants with talents. So the one with many made sure that they multiply. So in my mind, I always have this motto of saying, when I die, I want to make sure I've discovered all the talents or all the tools that God has invested in me, and exhaust and use them all to bless whoever is close to me. So, or bless the community that I'm in, or even the country that I'm in, my family as well. So God has been the center of everything. Well, there's that book in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6, that trust in the Lord with all your heart. And then it continues to say, acknowledge him in all your ways. So without him, I wouldn't have been where I am. When I started my business last year, June, I never thought it would turn out the way it is now. So I would say it has been God and like working through me, through this business. So I've seen his hand through it all.
Now that's actually amazing, and that's quite profound what you just put to us here. So how do you conclude? And in conclusion, I would like you to give an advice to somebody that is out there who has a gift but don't know how to commercialize it. What word of an advice have you got in particular to women?
I would say for all of the women out there, look for the passion. What are you passionate about doing? It may not be necessarily be anything in the kitchen. We're not all good in the kitchen or love the kitchen, but we should always look for things that when we do, we feel good. I don't know how I can explain this, because for me, when it comes to baking, it's more like therapy. It's my space of just relaxing. So I think for anybody, find your passion. Find something that you don't feel like, oh, I need to do this. We know we study and get degrees, but when we start working, we feel like, oh, it's work. But find that thing that you are passionate about, that you can do whatever it takes to just get it right. So find that passion, because with passion, whatever that you are passionate about, it drives you. That passion drives you to actually work harder. Some days when they make a lot of orders, I have to wake up early in the morning around 4 o'clock before I go to work and make sure I have orders ready. So if I wasn't passionate about baking, I would have given given up long time ago.
Definitely.
So my advice to any woman out there, look for something that you are passionate about. Pursue that with that passion. Then make sure that you get people around you to know your passion. Because sometimes when the people that are around you are not even aware that this is what you're passionate about, then how are you going to get the support? So make your passion known to others. Make that talent known to others. Share. Sometimes when I started baking, I didn't just start off just by selling. I shared a lot with other people close to me. So they were the ones who actually gave me that say, you can do this, go out there, people will buy. So even with whatever you put in as passion, make sure that people around you, they are your first supporters. You sell your ideas to them first. Then you get their support, and then everyone else will support you. So I just would advise any woman to start off there. And also pray. Let your plans, your wishes be known to God, and work hard. That would be my advice.
That's amazing, and I love the energy that you bring with your passion. It's quite energizing to hear you put it like that. And I think everybody who's listening today will take this home, will take it to heart, that charity begins at home. Express your passion, show the people around you what you're committed about, talk about it, share it, and let them see the value of it. And obviously they will take it to another level, because we can't exist without each other. We need each other. We need to support each other. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mrs. Noxolo Mkhwanazi on the line, putting it to us today that business is quite important, and putting God at the center of it remains the core, remains one of the energizing things to let you continue and become a success in what you do. Remember, all the dreams or the passions are born from God. It's God who deposited inside of you to share and unite the world with it. Thank you very much, Nicole.
Amen, my brother. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the conversation continues. We've got on the line Mrs. Mashaba, in particular Rebecca, I have to say. So we're just going to continue expounding on women in business. So, Ms. Mashaba, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. And how are you, sir?
I'm alright, and I appreciate having you today on Friday podcast, Maximum Impact, Nothing But the Truth. So tell us, Ms. Mashaba, what really got you inspired in actually doing the business you're doing?
I'd say the love of baking.
The love of
baking, yes.
Oh, no, that's really amazing. I mean, so we've got a lot of people who really love baking. So, but you managed to take the love of baking and actually turned it into a business. So what inspired you to actually commercialize and make it an official business?
Basically, I'd say it's the way people were responding to my baked stuff.
Okay.
I guess so, yes.
So do you have anybody in particular that you can point out to say, this is the person who said that I should start selling?
Yeah, it's my husband.
Oh, your husband. That's actually amazing. and I know for one, your husband is a person who is business orientated, hey?
Yes, true.
No, that's actually amazing. So what are some of the challenges that you're experiencing in the baking business?
After lockdown, I'd say business has been slow because people are struggling financially, you see.
Yeah.
So it's slow. The orders are not as much as before.
Yeah.
So slow that way.
Yeah, no, that's actually amazing. And the way you're putting it to say that lockdown has actually challenged the business. But now tell me, what are the plans to actually make sure that your business becomes one of the best? So what is it that you are looking to actually do to make sure that you can start distributing, people can start recognizing you once again?
Oh, I have big plans when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Firstly, I'd love to have my own bakery in town.
Okay.
Yes, buy big ovens and sell a lot of big stuff.
No, that's actually amazing, and I think it's quite energizing how you're putting it. But where can actually people find you? Where are you based currently?
Currently now I'm living in a township called Msholozi near White River in Mbombela.
Oh, okay, so that's actually where people can find you now.
Yes.
All right, and I think we have shared your number as well, and I think when people are around in Mbombela, they can actually give you a call and know that you can actually distribute your products. But are you able to distribute in any location where people would be looking for your products?
Yes, definitely.
All right, no,
I am.
No, that's actually amazing. Since we know and understand that a lot of people really can bake, but you actually decided to take it to business. And in the center of it all, do you see God in your business? Do you value and honor Him in your business?
Oh, definitely. There is no way I'd leave God behind, because a business is very challenging and sometimes emotionally draining. You get me? Yes. So God is actually my pillar of strength.
Yeah.
He's the only one who really understands what I'm going through in the business. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes. I'd never leave God behind, because there are a lot of things that can happen during the running of the business if you leave God behind, you see.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the fact that you recognize God as a pillar of your strength and in doing this business. And it's actually amazing how you're putting it. So, fast forward now. What are the plans that, or rather the advices that you are looking to give other people, or the plans that you are looking to make sure that more people come into this type of business?
I'd say to people, they must not wait for funding when it comes to a baking business.
Okay.
It starts small, really, really small.
Yeah.
Yes. The thing that they can do is basically even tell their family members and their neighbors that they're selling.
Yeah.
Yes, and then that way people like trying out things, so their business can grow from them. Because when I started with a simple one brick of rama, and then I told my neighbor that I am selling, and then he decided to buy.
Yeah. No, that's actually amazing, to start small and tell the people around you to support you, right?
Yes.
But now, Ms. Mashaba, we have seen a lot of businesses that are started by women. Some of them, or rather most of them, statistically, it shows that they remain small for the longest time. Like, for an example, you can relate with a woman who sells banana on the streets. They don't grow their business. It remains small. It remains just that one style there. We know that we're going to find snacks, we're going to find bananas and all this. And so that has always been the victimizing way of women's business. So now, what are the plans or the ideas you've got to make sure that it remains, as it grows stronger and bigger, and almost start competing with corporate companies?
My plans are that when I expand my business, at least employ women, because sometimes juggling a business and a home is not as easy.
Okay.
Some women don't get to grow their businesses because they juggle the home and the business. You get me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you think if you can just resolve that factor, then you can open room for growth in that space?
Yes, and allow myself to even expand, take risks for my business. You get me?
Yeah, no, I do understand. Now that's actually amazing, Miss Mashaba. Sorry, in particular on that. So I'm just gonna ask you to give an advice to some of the people that would like to join this business, and maybe they have the gift of baking, and young women out there. What advice have you got for them to actually start doing this type of business and commercialize it and make it something quite official?
I'd say they should start now in whatever plans they have in baking. Start now. And my strategy of people actually buying from me, I used to give them things out a lot without them paying. I give them cookies, I give them that. And when they remember how they taste or how if they've enjoyed them, they call me and order. So I'd say people should actually give out the things. Who want to start baking, start giving out your cookies, and then people will order after. It's a great strategy.
No, that's actually amazing, and I do support you when you're saying that it is a great strategy, because people wouldn't know that your product is different if they've not tasted it, right? All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's Miss Rebecca Mashaba on the line, putting it to us that you got to start small, and you got to admit that you have to start with people around you, people, family, and friends. Distribute your product, let people taste it, and let people love it, and you start commercializing it. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mashaba. It has been good hosting you today in this platform.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm also grateful.
I appreciate. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. KMC Friday podcast, maximum impact, nothing but the truth. We're waiting to hear your view as to how are you planning to, if you have the passion and the love for baking, or rather just not baking but business in particular, how are you planning to start, how are you planning to grow and actually make God the center of your business. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We wait to hear your reviews, we wait to hear your view. Thank you.